Hey everyone, I got a fun video for you today. In this video, I'm going to try and recreate 4 different logos just from memory without looking at it. I'm going to just do it in Affinity by Canva, and the reason I want to do this is to show you how powerful Affinity by Canva is and that you can do all these different things in it as well as do a fun challenge. So without any further ado, let's get into Affinity by Canva now and let's do logo number 1. Alright, so here we are on Affinity by Canva. By the way, you can get this for free. I'll put a link in the description. Affinity by Canva is absolutely free now, and you have all of the access to any of these tools. So you can follow along, or you can draw it on paper if you want to challenge yourself too. I'm just going to do some really simple symbol logos. So these don't have any words, no text on it. The first one I'm going to do is the Target logo. So let's try and do that. I'm going to get, first it's a circle in a circle, I believe. So I'm going to use the ellipse tool here, and I'm going to hold down shift and create a circle just like that. Boom. I believe it's red, so I'm going to just fill it with red here. I'm going to use 100 magenta, 100 yellow. I don't know if it's that bright red. Maybe a little black, I don't know. I'll put like 10 black there. Okay. I'm going to move this here, and then I'm going to make another circle that's bigger on the outside of it. So I'm going back to the circle icon. I'm holding down shift so that it's a perfect circle. And this circle, I want the stroke on it. So I'm going to change it from fill to stroke and just increase the stroke. I need the right panel in here. I think I'm missing some panels. Let me go. Oh, I think I know why. I think it's because I'm in the pixel. I forgot to check. Vector. Okay, now we have the stroke here. And then the width is, I'm just going to make it bigger. Just, I think like that. What is that? What do you think about that? Maybe something like that. Gosh. See, this is where it's going to be tough because I think we got to get the size right. I'm gonna go, oh, that's pretty close. Okay, and then I'm gonna align them. So I'm gonna do alignment here, align horizontal corners and horizontal centers this way, vertical centers. And there, I think that's pretty good. Okay, stop. I'm gonna stop there and I'm gonna pull in the real Target logo to see how close I got. All right, so here's the real Target logo. Oh, I was way off on the circles. I mean, I got the circles, but look how thick that line is and look how thin that, like, the way to do this is the same way. Now, the reason I wanted to show you the Target logo is, of course, you can't use the Target logo in your design, but you could use a target in your design. So if I made another circle here, I'm just gonna Command J and do this and make it bigger. Now you could literally use something like that, like a target, and create a t-shirt with it, right? So that you could use. So I got pretty close, but I think the lines and the circles were different. I noticed I was trying to get the white line or circle here the same width as the circle there, and that's true, but my circle in the middle was just too big. Okay, the next logo, symbol logo that I'm going to do is the Adidas logo. It's very simple. I see it all the time. I have a bunch of Adidas stuff, so I should be able to do this. And let's do, I'm going to use the pen tool for this one. I'm just going to click on here. I know it's a triangle that kind of goes up like this, and I think like that, and then back down like that. I know that doesn't look right already. Let's click on this. I know I want to make it black because it's usually black, so I'll go to color and do the fill, make it black here. Gosh, it's really going to be maybe like that. And then I know there's stripes that go the same way, so I'm going to just do block like this and then turn it. We can turn it here like that and just make sure that it's the right, like the same angle as this, right? That's kind of what I was going for. Now these are going to be white. Wait, I got to click on it first. Make them white here. And there's 2 of them. It's something like that. But I think I'm getting the whites too thick. So let's make that smaller, maybe something like that. And I feel like each one of these is supposed to be about the same length, though. Gosh, that kind of looks right. Yeah, I feel like that's right, and this maybe like that. I don't know. That's me. Oh, by the way, I gotta knock these out. So let's knock this and this. I can take both of these and then go up here, and I'm gonna go to subtract. So this is another thing that you can do in Affinity. If you hit subtract, now each one of these is a separate thing. See, I don't have a white behind it. So if I change the color here and I wanted a white logo, I could take all of this and it would be a white. And sometimes they do that with Adidas is the white logo. So I'm gonna keep it black though and keep this background white. And let's bring in the real Adidas logo and see how close I got. Oh man, I was off a little bit. I didn't realize there's a step down. So this is the real Adidas logo. This is my fake, what I got from memory. Man, I should have cut it off here, and then each one of these I didn't realize is just a little bit step up. It's not all the way down, but pretty close on like the thickness of here, and my angle just a little bit off. So boy, I really got to study this a little better, but I think I did a good job. How did you guys do on the Adidas logo? Did you know that it didn't come to a point here and that it was stepped up like this? I knew it was 3 lines, at least we know that. And I'm glad I didn't have to pick the font here, but as far as the logo goes, that's pretty cool. All right, for my next logo, I'm gonna do the Walmart one, the new one where there's no words, it's just a symbol. And you can see I put in a couple of guide marks here, and the reason for that is I'm gonna put a circle. Well, I'm gonna try and base it around a circle because I believe it's like that power symbol. So I'm gonna do a rectangle first, something like this. And I know it's rounded, so I'm gonna do that. Do a rounded rectangle. I don't know if you knew you can do that. And then I'm gonna make it, I believe it's more like this, but then one side is bigger than the other, kind of comes in here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna right click on it. I'm gonna convert this to curves. And then I'm gonna move in these a little bit here. I'm sure there's a better way to do it at the same time instead of individually, but I'm gonna do it this way. And then I'll move these here kind of in a little bit here. And I believe this probably goes in a little too, so I'm gonna bring that in. So that's kind of the shape I think it is. And then I believe there's 6 of them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm gonna rotate it around this right here. And you can do this by clicking on this tool here, selecting all of it, great. And then you can see the transform tools up here, transform mode. And I'm gonna move the origin. So the transform origin right here, you can see it in the middle. I'm gonna move it around this point here so that it's going in a circle. And then I'm gonna just do a copy of it. Actually, I should have done that. Command J, I'll do it again. Select all of this and move it. I'm gonna hold down, make sure we move this again, moving it around the circle, that little circle thing right here. Now, it doesn't have to be perfect, but it helps to have guides here. And then I'm gonna move it, holding down Shift. I can move it into increments of 30, I believe there's 60 right there. That's what I would need, 60. And then I'm gonna do it again. So let's see if I can, no. We'll do that. Oh, actually, I can just do it on the other side. So I'm gonna also flip it here. So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna flip it this way. We can flip it. Yeah, there it is. You see this right here, transform. I'm gonna transform and flip horizontal, but once I make a copy of it. So I'm gonna Command J, there's the copy right here. I'm gonna flip it horizontal, boom. And then just make sure it's on this side, right? So both of these should be center here. Okay, I think that's right. And then I'm gonna flip both of them back down. Whoa. Okay, I got all of these selected. bring them down, and I'll flip all of these the other way. Boom. Okay, dude, what's going on? Okay, I should have just rotated all of them. Let me do that. Wow. Okay, let's do this way. I'm gonna hit Command J, and then I'm gonna select it using this transform tool here. Transform tool here. Grab it here like this. And hold down Shift and go 60 this way. -60. Good. Okay, now I think I can grab all of these. Basically that, right? Okay. And I could have like duplicated and rotated it, but let's see if I can do it. Something's funky here and it's not showing me all what I got. And I believe it's yellow, like maybe a little bit a dark yellow like that. All right, how close is this? I'm gonna group all of these together. I think it's like that, or is it turned? Is it turned like that, or I think it's like this. Okay, that's my guess right here. Let's see how close I got to the Walmart logo. All right, so here's the official Walmart logo with the words, but I didn't put the words. And I got the color pretty close, but the spacing is a little different. And it was rounded, but it came more down here. I actually like mine better, but anyway, that's what it is right here. Yeah, I think it's more like a power button logo or something. I think if any of you know why, I think they might have changed it a couple of times too. So hopefully this is the latest one right here. But yeah, that's my version. That's their version. I'm not too upset about what I came up with here. Okay, so the last one, I saved the hardest for last, and that is the Apple logo. I have a hard time just drawing this with pen and paper. I'm gonna try and do it with what we have here. So I'm probably gonna use the pen tool, but first I know I'm gonna use circles here. So I got the circle here, and I believe if I copy this and pull it here and do like that, something like that is like the leaf, right, of the Apple logo. So I'm gonna use this right here where it's intersect, boom. So I got the leaf, and I believe it's turned like a little bit, like something like that. Okay, so the apple, geez. I'm gonna use some circles to help me out a little bit. Let's not do that circle. And I still have the yellow. I know it's not yellow. I'm gonna make it black. And then maybe a little circle down here, like this and this. I know it's all based off of like circles and stuff. So let's see if I can do the pen tool. I think it goes in like this in here, right? And then let me come up like this, and then maybe at the end here it kind of goes in like this, and I believe it's like rounded like that in there, and then boom, something like that. And then I'm going to combine all of these together. So all of this will intersect, boom. Not bad, not bad. And let's see if I can fix some of these lines here. Maybe something like that, something like that. Okay, but there's also a big chunk that comes up here, but I know this doesn't come to a point. It kind of comes rounded, something like that, right? And I feel like it's rounder though, like out, something like that. And this is way too big of a leaf. Oh gosh, something like that. And then there's a big chunk, a circle chunk that's taken out of it. So let's do white so that I can kind of get an idea here. Oh man, all of you that love Apple, I have an Apple product, and I could probably cheat and look at my computer logo right now, but this is not looking right. Oh, that's bad. I know it just doesn't feel right to me. Oh, why? Maybe it's not a circle that comes out. Maybe it's turned a little bit. I don't know. That just doesn't look right, right? All right, I'm gonna go. Oh, we gotta knock this out. So this is knocked out. Boom. Oh, that's ugly. That's. How do I do to fix it? What do I? Maybe this comes down a little bit more, like that, and maybe this comes up a little bit more. I don't know. No, that made it worse. Okay, I'm gonna do that. And then, oh, I'm just gonna do the black version of this. So let's do black, all black here. Oh, that just feels wrong, but I don't know what to do to fix it. So that's what I'm gonna do as my Apple logo. Let's take a look at what the real one looks like. All right, there is the Apple logo, the real Apple logo, and I guess I bet too big of a chunk. It's only that much of a chunk. I don't know why I remembered. And yeah, it's a lot more round where mine's straight here. This is such better, but I did a good job on the leaf, I think, right there. But everything else, like that, what is that down there? That's wild. So there you go, from memory, without any help. My very bad logos. How did you do? If you did it, let me know in the comments. And I wanted to show you these because these are some skills that you can use when you make t-shirts too. So you can knock out a circle, you can create shapes like this with 2 circles, you can rotate around a circle here, you can knock out these lines and do a stroke here. So all of these principles that you can use to make simple logos can also be used for graphic designs and t-shirt designs. So there you go, that was my attempt at 4 different logos. Let me know how you think I did. If you want to see another one like this with maybe a little harder logos or maybe just other logos in this area, let me know that as well. If you want to learn how to use Canva by Affinity or Affinity by Canva, here's this video where there's 10 things that you should know before using Affinity by Canva. It's a powerful program, but there's some things that you should learn about it, and that video covers all of it if you haven't used Affinity by Canva before. I'll put a link in the description for it. Thanks again for watching, and as always, keep creating and keep learning. I'll see you on the next one.